You're listening to the voice of IWA Flip here on Interfed Radio. Welcome to Living Nightmare After Hour, Trash Talk Edition. With me in studio, Commissioner of the Living Nightmare League, Scott Anderson. Scott, welcome.
Hey, here I am. We're back.
Oh, man. Now, and like again, if you haven't heard the other show, feel free to catch up on all the commissioner stuff going on in the Living Nightmare League, all the title rundown. Again, tell us what you think of these shows. I mean, we're here, we're trying to get you guys as much of the info as we can. Do you like the two shows? Do you want us to go back to the longer show? Just let us know. We don't mind.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm happy to do either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know.
Let us know. Now, Commissioner, I got something to confess.
Uh-oh, okay.
I pride myself on trying to get trash talk in every cycle.
Yes.
But when I don't, I go into like this, I feel like I'm skating on the thin ice, but I'm just like, oh no, and I want to say this because there's a lot of managers out there maybe that. Of course we want to see the trash talk. We encourage the trash talk. We revolve our game around the trash talk. And, when you don't, there's, like with a lot of the other leagues, you can add something to the Facebook.
Yeah.
Are we ever going to get a Living Nightmare Facebook, or is that asking too much?
No, it's a good question. It's one I've been asked before. But not having a Facebook for the LNL is purposeful on my part.
Gotcha.
It to me requires us to keep everything in the bulletin.
Gotcha.
And not only that, there are a lot of excellent Facebook groups out there. I'm a member of several Facebook groups of other leagues. But I think it's part of what makes the LNL a little different.
Yes.
It makes it a little different that we don't have a Facebook group. Right now, it kind of funnels everything into maybe a private chat that we might have or into the bulletin.
Yes. Okay.
So it is purposeful, not having a Facebook group. It's not to, to avoid things or punish people or any of that. It's for that reason, really, alone, is to funnel everything into the bulletin and to make the LNL a little different in that way.
Now in that same now that you said that, it almost gives me that nostalgia feel to how I obviously wanted to trash talk this cycle.
Yeah.
But when I didn't, and then I went through the bulletin and read Catfish's stuff and all the other stuff, it almost gave me that feel that we were going back and forth, like back in the days.
Right.
So and like I said, I asked because, I've been asked also. So,
yeah.
But no,
it's a good question.
Yeah, that does make sense that, like you said, just to keep it all in the bulletin, for those managers that aren't on social media, check out the LNL. Right. That's something that you'll enjoy.
Yeah, I hope so. And I think it fits the LNL, if that makes sense.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I think it fits with our theme and everything we have going on. I just feel like it fits. So that's how that is.
Nice. That'll work. I'm with you. Like I said, and I do apologize, but
no,
like
it's okay.
I definitely wanted to get some stuff in. I know we had chatted up about certain stuff, but when I got through the trash talk, and I'm like, I think this was it almost like as if it was a godsend. I'm like, you know what? My trash talk might have ruined some of the stuff that was in this bulletin.
That's it.
I'm like, this is better. This is awesome. So I'm now. The first one I come across is the League of Extraordinary Evil. Sinister is obviously obviously, it says it even in here. He's the leader. He's the, the icon in this group.
Yes, the head honcho.
Now, are all these other guys new, or have they been in the league? Like the Creeper and...
I believe they're new to the league.
Nice.
They are not new to the world of horror, but they are new to the LNL. So this could be very, very interesting. It is interesting already, but
Oh yeah.
it could go only up from here.
Now, did we lose the Krampus, or is the Krampus?
Well, the Krampus and Sinister Bagul are not managed by the same person.
Awesome.
I know, which
There.
to me makes it even cooler that they're teaming up.
Yes.
But yeah, so no, we did not lose the Krampus. I do
Nice.
believe the Krampus wasn't active this cycle, which happens. Hopefully that was just kind of a one-off, and we see we see the Krampus come back next cycle
Nice.
for cycle 50 with all those bonuses.
All the incentives. Just saying it. Just hey.
Just throwing it out there.
Hey. Now. I know we had mentioned. I know this is gonna kind of sidebar, but there are leagues that have some great match deals.
Yes.
And I remember, I forgot which one it was. There was this one time a league was offering like a 4-for-1 or a 5-for-1, and oh man, obviously, we'd love you to stick around in the league, but especially if you're already there, don't miss out on these incentives.
Yeah, for real. I think it was either. I think if my memory is failing me, but I think both the ASL and the BRL, when they turned 500,
I think that's what it was.
had some kind of really special deal, like 4-for-1 or 5-for-1.
Nice.
I know, 500 cycles. That's a long time.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Obviously we got the picture of the new crew there, the new faction, the new League of Extraordinary Evil, but what's going on with Bagul nowadays? Does he look like he's going to be the leader that's going to lead us into this next era here in the LNL?
He could very well. He has a very well thought out, meticulous attack on Jason Voorhees here. I could easily see Sinister Bagul being kind of a standout main eventer in 2019 for sure.
I mean, I know we spoke, at the end of last year, the charismatic Reverend Boswell, and how he just, single-handedly just turned the LNL upside down. I think the way Bagul is, making his moves early on this year, I think he's gonna, he's positioned himself into that kind of a role.
I agree. I think at the end of 2019, we could very well be talking about how it was the year of the League of Extraordinary Evil.
Yeah. Now, I mean, not to take anything away from Jason. I mean, Jason is the monster of monsters, and him and Michael Myers, like I said, I mean, for Sinister Bagul to have the nerve just to be able, I mean, but then again, Sinister Bagul is ain't no pushover himself.
Ain't that the truth? We do see that really well thought out attack. Bagul and Jason are going back and forth. All of a sudden they're surrounded. So then it's like Bagul pretends that they'll have to help each other to fight off these other monsters. But that's when we meet the Creeper and Jin the Wishmaster and Chrome Skull. And they beat the tar out of poor Jason and leave him late. I mean, it gets pretty vicious here. Bagul drives a fork into his chest. I'm assuming he means like a pitchfork, and then breaks it, and then he stabs the rest of the stick into his neck. And I'm like, only in the LNL.
Oh,
only in the LNL can you break off a pitchfork and then stab a guy in the neck. You know what I'm saying?
Now this is the perfect time to remind the kids listening. This is an 18 and over show. If you happen to hit play on Daddy's playlist, tune away.
Yeah, no Momo here, okay?
Oh man.
No Momo.
Oh, nice. I love it. Oh, poor kids are getting nightmares with poor Momo.
What's wrong with people? Like, I know I'm a commissioner of a league called Living Nightmare League, and I just talked about a guy getting stabbed in the neck with a broken off piece of a pitchfork. But what's wrong with people? For real?
Oh yeah. I mean, we could have shows on that just alone, brother. But yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. So, what's next on your digital version there that does not have any crinkles in it because you cannot spill a beverage on your
Nice.
screen?
Kyle O'Reilly.
Yes.
I mean, these guys, him and Roderick they're new, right? They haven't been here.
Well, they had a trash talk last cycle, but they've only been around a few cycles.
Huh. Bobby Fish and company, huh?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
uh yeah, I mean, obviously we had that trash talk last time, but uh this isn't like Catfish and company. This isn't like he's not really a fish, is he?
No,
Okay.
no, I don't believe so.
Okay, cool. I was like, good
Um,
old Bobby Fish.
yes, I will mention here, both a a couple things. Well, are we on that one yet? Okay, so no, we're first. They beat up Michael Myers, right? And to be fair to Michael, um, all he does is really walk towards a woman, and she yells help. He hasn't done anything, and he's slowly making his way across the street, and they come out and beat him up with baseball bats. I
What?
mean, maybe he was just gonna wait with her while she waited for the bus.
Nice. All of
May-
a sudden, Michael is cavalier and he's what is it? He believes in chivalry or what? All of
I mean, maybe we don't know.
this is the Living Nightmare League, and things are a little bit weird. Maybe he was going for a stroll, just regular walk down the
Maybe
street.
right,
You
right.
know
Maybe he
what?
just maybe it was like Crocodile Dundee. It's like that's not a knife. This is a knife. You
There
know what
you
I'm
go.
saying?
Like
So
what has the Living Nightmare League become that you can't walk up and down the street with a machete and your mask? What in the world is going on here? I mean, if you can't walk around with your machete without getting beat up in the Living Nightmare League, brother, oh man.
clearly this was not an open carry area.
Oh, I guess not, dude. I mean,
At
did
least not to O'Reilly, Fish, and Strong.
yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, did they read the rules before they came here? I mean, jeez.
I don't know. I don't know.
But hey, but
But
yeah, poor Michael. I mean, Michael, I hope things work out for you, brother. I mean, at least he didn't get a pitchfork to the chest.
that's true. It could be worse. It could be worse, right? So I do want to mention, as a sidebar, Spike Pratt, who is the commissioner name avatar that I use in the LNL, is used as an interview, and so it highlights a deficiency on my part that I don't have an interviewer listed in the bullet in my report, which I am going to correct. We will be hiring an interviewer, but at the same time, it is a good reminder to me to let everybody know, please don't use Spike Pratt in your trash talk unless you've talked to me first. I want Spike to kind of stay out of the fray as much as possible. So using him without talking to me first enters him into the fray, and he's
Right.
kind of supposed to be in the background, right? Like not really managing the zoo, just kind of being in his office watching the zoo go ballistic,
Right.
right? So entering him into the zoo is something I want to be careful of. So that's all. Not a big deal, but just to throw that out, I need an interviewer, so I'm going to be hiring somebody.
Nice. I like it. Now, Scott. I mean, again, we say this probably. Well, I say this a lot. Um, this game is huge. A lot of people
Yes.
play it in different ways. A lot of people play it in different styles. Um, and a lot of people think that everything is fair game. You know,
Right.
I think we've talked about this in terms of respecting a league and respecting what's going on within that league, and what might work in a certain league doesn't always work everywhere. Like I
Right.
think I think we were mentioning one time that the trash talk in the MML when we were doing our MML stuff was over the top. We were pulling eyes
Right.
out. We had spells and ghosts and portals and all sorts of stuff going on, and that doesn't work in a league like the UNL or in
Right.
a lot of people say like in the iWar fraction of leagues.
Right.
So not everything fits everywhere, and in that same sense, not every commissioner wants to be a Vince McMahon or wants to be a Stephanie or a commissioner that's in the limelight, like
Right.
Bischoff, like those guys. Hey, some commissioners, they just want, like you said, they want to be in the back, running it.
Yeah.
Just let the show go on, and when a critical decision has to be made, okay, yeah, I'll step in, but not until then.
Right. And I do want to say the interview itself is pretty funny, and
Nice.
people should read it. And really, if all you did was take out the name Spike Pratt and you put in general interviewer, like it's
It would
still
still
just
work.
it's still as funny, right? It's not a big deal. It's not something I like heavily talk about. And in the defense of Strongfish and O'Reilly, Spike Pratt was at kind of at the Head in the Box pay-per-view and finishing up that thing with Reverend Boswell, which in a way this kind of ties in with that because they're kind of poking fun at the Dragons who were with Reverend Boswell. So,
Gotcha.
it all ties in. It's just as a reminder or to let everybody know. I would prefer that Spike Pratt not be used in your trash talk. That's
Oh
all.
yeah, definitely. And Commissioner, I mean, we've said this a couple times. I mean, I consider this the new era of the IWA. I mean, a lot of people are, they're, oh no, it's over. The IWA's dying. The IWA's been dying for 30 years, for crying out loud. Get over it.
Right.
But those of us that are still here, I do enjoy the fact that we are working. We do communicate behind scenes. And believe it or not, it's pushing forward a better product for everybody to see and everybody to enjoy. So
I could not agree more. I would say that the IWA is not dying. I would say the IWA is evolving.
I like
And
it.
so you can either like have like starry eyes for what was the IWA 15, 20 years ago, or you can realize what the IWA is now, and more importantly, what the IWA can be. Because I think what gets missed is this idea that like all the things that managers say they enjoyed about the game 15 years ago, they could still do.
Yes.
It's just different now, right? Like we have elite leagues now. We have players who are, in GNL, LSL, all
Oh
these
yeah.
other pockets around the IWA of leagues that want to trash talk, that want to have fun, that want to play with their buddies. Isn't that like a good thing? It's a good thing. I'm
I
sorry
think
I'm on a
so.
soapbox now, but like I just think there are really good things happening in the IWA, and so I think I get a little bit admittedly defensive when people are like, "Oh, it's terrible." Well, it's not terrible. It's just not what you remember.
Right. It's definitely a different feel. Like I said, I mean, I came on and I found this game late. So there are a lot of people that miss that anonymous aspect in the trash talk.
Right.
I'm not one of them. I
Yep.
mean, I mean, just to be real, I mean, I enjoy working more than I do hiding. I mean,
Yeah.
is there a place for like a little, an angle that'll kind of conceal you for a little bit? Yeah, there's definitely room for like me and Scott working an angle against a catfish, or me and catfish working an angle against Dr. Frankenstein. Yeah, there's room for work, but anywho,
Yeah. I guess
now
I guess it'll boil down, and I've said this, and my final comment on that, and then we can definitely move on because I could talk about it for a long time, and that's not productive. Um, the difference is people, some people, and this is just my humble opinion. Maybe it's a hot take. Maybe I should just keep my mouth shut. But some people want everyone to play how they play.
right,
And I just want everyone to play how they want to play.
yeah,
If you want to play a certain way and you're not hurting anybody, please,
knock
like
yourself out.
knock yourself out. You're spending your money, play however you want to play.
Yeah,
But my only issue is if the way you play purposely hurts the fun of somebody else, That's the only reason I have a problem.
Yeah.
However you want to play is cool with me. Please, like, keep the IWA open. Play.
For crying out loud. Like, I mean, if you want to get gruesome, you want to get nasty, come to the Living Nightmare League. Go ahead, run an angle. For crying out loud, I mean that's one of the things that was my jaw drop moment was hearing Foxwoman Santana that had ripped off a couple of nads, and I'm like, she did what? It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, you can get away with a lot here. You really can. And then,
Yeah.
it kept escalating. That's like if that wasn't a shocker enough, poor Reverend Boswell, I never saw his, yeah, his demise coming like that. I mean, I was like, okay, yeah, let me go outside and get a smoke and settle my nerves down here. Oh yeah, good stuff happens, and like I said, keep the stuff going, guys. I mean, I mean, just watching Michael Myers, squeeze poor Bigfoot's head, and I'm like, what? Bigfoot's such a kind and caring monster. I mean,
Yeah.
and here Michael Myers, geez, man.
Do you think, speaking of, moving back into our trash talk, I think that's what we're doing here is talking about trash talk. Um, is I think, and I'm wondering your opinion. I'm wondering if maybe we need a pay-per-view match between Michael Myers and Bigfoot.
Well, after he's kind of made orange or treated his head like an orange, started squeezing him out. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the second cycle in a row that Michael Myers has attacked, the gentle giant Bigfoot.
Now, I hope Michael Myers read the trash talk because Bigfoot has gotten himself some training now, and
Right.
he's getting ready to break those training wheels and show Michael Myers, and I think that'll work. I think Bigfoot versus Michael Myers is definitely one that we should put on that pay-per-view.
All right. I think we'll consider that added.
Now, I mean, this is one of those things that I like when managers kind of, they don't stick to one manager that they're attacking, just to see Michael and, all of a sudden you have the Krampus out on the edge, kind of licking in. I thought that was cool. I mean, I was like,
Yeah.
just added to the whole, but.
Well, what's nice too about the Jason Voorhees contribution this cycle is for those of you who aren't familiar with Sinister Bagul or the Sinister movies, you see Sinister like on like a TV and he moves around or whatever, and that's kind of one of the creepy parts of the movie is that this character kind of shows up, and so Jason or the manager for Jason clearly uses some of that in this trash talk. He says that the picture of Sinister Bagul is moving.
Nice.
On the poster. So I'm like, that's just a really nice like detail, right? I'm very detail oriented as it comes to trash talk. So I appreciate that little detail. And then Jason rips up the poster. So
now did you when you read it, did you think of like I'm trying to think of like was it in the Harry Potter movies where the photographs moved, right?
I mean, obviously Sinister Bagul is a little more menacing.
No,
It's a similar notion, yes.
Okay, cool. Obviously
Sinister Bagul versus.
Obviously, I don't watch Harry Potter or anything,
Oh no, of course not. Not me either. Me either.
But
yeah,
that was a cool thing, and just to see him shred that picture up and like, go away.
So Fritz the Owl here reveals the name for the team of Voorhees, Myers, and Leatherface, and they are going to be called the Murder Foundation.
I like it.
So I think it's a cool name. I think it sounds pretty BA, so I'm on board. So they talk about a 6-man challenge to Krampus, Bagul, and Bigfoot. So I'm not sure that exact conglomeration will happen, but we have like a singles match and a tag match potentially coming up. So
now, did I miss that? I thought they were challenging Catfish, Foxwoman, and Wolfman, or
they're actually
they're challenging.
Yeah. No, you're good. they mentioned Robin, Santana, and Joe as kind of fellow DoD members.
Mhm.
So kind of on the same page. And I'm trying to remember when it was, but back during the height of the Catfish Rob versus Dr. Id feud, we did have some teaming with Jason and Myers and Catfish and Foxwoman. So they've teamed up before in the past.
Nice. So Murder Inc. is a faction of DoD.
It sounds that way, yeah.
Nice.
So it
Okay.
sounds like right. It sounds like they are a kind of subset of
Well.
of the larger DoD faction.
Now I know Bigfoot is confused because he's just trying to survive in this living nightmare league. But I think he went to Catfish for help, so I'm not sure if he's gonna challenge accept that challenge per se. But
So
maybe
we'll
we
see.
can add Morbius to that challenge, or we'll see what's
Maybe
going on.
we'll see. Maybe Morbius has his own.
Dun dun dun.
I do appreciate Fritz. Also, I like Fritz. I like Fritz a lot. So I enjoy Fritz promoting the new Halloween movie as being out on all formats. So,
Nice.
so I'm
Oh,
like, that's cool. And then he does shout out the Pale Man, saying he misses him. So I'm not making any promises, but I am going to reach out to the Pale Man, and we'll see what the Pale Man is up to.
nice. I know you'll make a bunch of people happy with the Pale Man. With re-signing the Pale Man, I should say.
So I'm going to reach out to him. We'll see. We'll see if anything fruitful occurs.
Nice. Now, speaking of somebody else that misses the Pale Man, Catfish Rob.
Catfish Rob.
Now, shout out Catfish. I know. Like I said, we made that move to come to the Living Nightmare to come and uh, get some training under this legend. And yeah, Bigfoot came along. Looks like RoboCat and Squeaky came along, and shout out to Catfish for keeping the characters to the T, to the to their he keeping them in character. I guess is that the right way
Yes,
to say it? Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah,
keeping the fighters or keeping the wrestlers in character, man. That was awesome. So shout out, brother.
yeah. It is a long submission, but it's a very easy read. So I definitely recommend everybody check it out. And what we see is Catfish and Foxwoman and Wolfman Joe comes back at the beginning. So he's back up and at 'em.
Nice.
And
He
so
survived.
he made it. He's awake. He's not
Vamp,
in his coma anymore.
or what did you call him? Hybrid Joe. We're gonna
Yeah,
call him.
he's not. Yeah, he's not. Yeah. So the Wolfman may have some vampire venom going through his veins.
Nice.
So that'll be interesting to see, I think, moving forward. But yeah, as you mentioned, Bigfoot shows up. Foxwoman offers to help train him. RoboCat and Squeaky are here, and it looks like there's a budding friendship. So
I definitely like. I mean, you could just picture, someone like Catfish, a legend, looking at, at Bigfoot and be like, "Dad, this is a big fur ball. Like, get over here, get out of the way."
I could use this guy on my team.
Hey, come on, fur ball, let's get ready.
Yeah, yeah, we could manage.
Nice. Now, obviously, Catfish's crew has grown, and the evolution of the dragons. I mean, is whether you want to call it evolution or a slide into darkness. I mean, they did mention they were for a while they were kind of praying to the dark arts. I mean, they were Lucifer's luchadores. So
Yeah.
from one leap to the other, from one giant leap to the other. I mean, that's. But the nice thing, like we said, we did get clarification. These are the same, just going through these big life transitions. So.
Yes. So there's a line in here that kind of alludes to them transitioning. It talks about the force has infected us, and through us the powers of chaos are harnessed and exploited.
Nice.
So It's not specifically said here, but it is kind of alluded to. So hopefully we see a little more of that this upcoming cycle.
Oh yeah, I mean, now this is, I mean, obviously, I don't think of the Sith as quote unquote, horror, the like to the technical, but I mean,
Right.
they're definitely badasses.
Right. Well, and that's something that I think is important too, and we've talked about it before. But for anybody who may be a newer listener, maybe didn't catch a previous show, the Living Nightmare League is not exclusive to like the horror monsters that you are know and love, right? So
and
it
for
is
obvious
certainly horror inspired.
right, and for obvious reasons. I mean, there's only so many Jasons, there's only so many Michaels. I mean, and obviously,
Right.
if those names are taken, we want to give other managers interested in coming
Right.
more of an option. So that's awesome.
Yeah, so definitely, I think that the Sith, these transformed dragons into Darth, I think it fits into the umbrella of what the Living Nightmare League is, especially when you expand it into this idea of like dark characters, right?
Right.
Dark and over the top characters. I would say that the Sith definitely are dark and over the top characters.
Nice. Now, as you're saying this, I wanna shout out to IWAR and IWL Commissioner Alex, because this is a league where you can definitely get your head chopped off by a lightsaber and get away with it.
Oh, brother. Yeah, that every once in a while that comes up as, kind of a what not to do, right?
Right.
Don't chop off someone's head with a lightsaber in the BRL.
There is a place for it, and
there is a place for it, and it's not the IWAR.
no, the Living Nightmare League is your place. Come and
Yes.
use your lightsabers to cause hell and havoc, brother.
No doubt. No doubt. Now there are some pretty, good things going in the IWAR, if I do say so myself.
Oh,
I mean, I'm somewhat familiar with what's going on over there, and there is good stuff going on over there, but you can't chop somebody's head off with a lightsaber. That's for sure.
No. Well, like I said, keep it to the realm. Keep it to where it belongs. So,
Yes.
but now speaking of somebody that isn't going to be chopping up anybody's head with a lightsaber anytime soon, but it's still pretty nasty. I mean, this guy walks around with syringes and just, my goodness.
Yes.
Dr. Frankenstein. Dr. Frankenstein.
Yes. I get a very mad scientist vibe from Dr. Frankenstein.
I mean, we're around the same thing. Do you remember the movie Cannonballs?
I do not. I'm
You
sorry.
don't remember Cannonball, the Cannonball Run?
Sorry.
Oh, bummer. Well, anyone listening, you make sure you get your comments for this one, because when I think of Dr. Frankenstein, there's a doctor in the Cannonball Run.
Okay.
And just a little brief history on the Cannonball Run. It's just like it's supposed to be a race across the nation. So
Okay.
from the Pacific to the Atlantic.
I
So
like
everybody's racing, across in their cars, and is it oh, I forgot his name. What's Smokey and the Bandits? What's the actor? Tom Selleck? Is it Tom Selleck?
You're sure? Yes. Let's say yes.
Okay. Oh man, I guess I'm throwing some old school movie. You're like, yeah, sure. Well,
Tom Selleck.
He's
He's
character,
got the mustache.
his character and another character that are in the movie they're like hiding in an ambulance, and so they're the drivers of the ambulance, and they're going across town speeding, trying to get across, and they get pulled over. And sure enough, this doctor comes out of the ambulance. Now, I mean, obviously, when we hang up here, I definitely want you to go see that clip, because that's what I see Dr. Frankenstein. This guy comes out of the ambulance, and he has the syringe, and he's like squirting the syringe into his mouth. Like, I'm like, holy shit, that's exactly what I think Frankenstein. Just some off the wall doctor, just
Pretty off.
man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And poor Morbius is caught up in his mix right now.
Yeah. So we get kind of a, we talked about it on the last show and maybe even the show before that, but Dr. Frankenstein has definitely taken an interest in Morbius. And so we see once again that this time he has Patient X try to sneak attack basically Morbius from behind and stab him with this syringe, this needle. Now it still doesn't say whether he's trying to inject him or whether he's trying to like maybe get his blood. We really don't know what he's looking to do because Morbius is able to fight him off, and it looks like Morbius is gonna take out Patient X. But then right at the end, Patient Y and Patient Z are making their way over there, and so Morbius lets go of Patient X and retreats into the dark. But now, I, for one, think Morbius might have just been able to take on all three of them. But he chose,
Now he's had himself his fair share of interactions here, and I characters like that I feel bad because it almost seems like they're falling into like that Doctor Who, like in the wrong place at the wrong time, just just like what in the hell am I getting myself into? Like where am I? Who am I? Like what the heck, Right. So Morbius, like I said, we still haven't got confirmation from what we've heard or kind of got the feel. He kind of wants to stop the killing because right. without live blood. I mean, nothing against getting some blood from Jason and Michael, but their blood's kind of nasty. Yes.
So I don't know how much we want to say, but I feel like this conflict between Morbius and Patient X is kind of coming to a head.
Yes.
But I do think that following the potential match at the pay-per-view, right? Hopefully there's a Patient X versus Morbius match.
I like it.
I think that Morbius is going to have to answer for his actions against Wolfman Joe. So I don't mean to put the cart in front of the horse, but I think following this conflict with Patient X, I think there's still some atonement coming for this conflict with
Joe. I mean he I mean from what I saw he was defending himself, but Joe doesn't know that. I mean Joe sees a monster, right. Trying to take him out. Joe doesn't care about whether he was defending himself or not. It's like this dude bit me. Like I don't care what the hell you say.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the bite crossed the line. It's like, come on, Morbius, you're better than that.
You took it too far, sir.
You took it too far, brother. It really did, man. But yeah, we got some fun stuff. I know. Now I think I missed it last Trash Talk. But just in case you're keeping up or keeping tabs, looks like RoboCat has some kind of like remote control now. It looks like Squeaky's added a remote control aspect to that RoboCat suit, so
that's the impression I had.
Yeah, he can take over. So I'm curious to see how that unfolds also. But
yes,
now
something to look forward to. We have so much going on right now.
I like it though. I mean,
really, the more we talk about it, the more I'm like, there is a lot going on right now, which is good.
It is. I mean, our characters are, like I said, we can see them in front of us, and like I said, I definitely enjoy the work going on, and like you said, I mean, it has that old school feel to it. If you want a league with that old school feel, Trash Talk is all in the bulletin. It all revolves around the Trash Talk is what I was trying to say. So shout out to the LNL and everything going on there. Because if you're looking for another Bronze League, come on over.
Yeah. Thanks.
Nice. Now, in terms of Trash Talk, is there any more? I mean, I
think we covered it all.
I said managers out there.
Unless I missed something. I think we covered.
No, I think we're good. Yeah. Now, I mean, shout out to Swamp Monster. I know we had a couple new people come in. Let us know a little bit about them.
Yeah, I would like to know some more about Swamp Monster.
Yeah, I know. We also had Blade come in. I know Blade is a iconic figure, so. Before I start using him, I just want to get a clarification if he's going to be
loosely inspired.
That's the one, inspired by or the gotcha. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so give us a little clarification if you can, like It's not a bad thing if he's based on the actual one. Like I said, you see the way Michael and
No,
Jason are
not at
rocking
all.
and rolling.
Yeah.
Like I said, we just want to make sure we use them properly.
Yeah, exactly. Either one works, and
Yes.
we see some of both in the LNL. So either one is fine.
Yeah. Look at my Morbius. I feel bad for the Marvel one. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh
I think
man.
you're okay. Well, and like Dr. Frankenstein is not Dr. Frankenstein.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's Dr. Frankenstein inspired.
Ish. Ish. Yeah.
Yes. Ish. Yes.
You've been listening to Commissioner Scott Anderson and myself, IWA Flip, here on the Trash Talk edition of Living Nightmare After Hour. Anything else you want to see us do or add or not do, let us know. We'll see you guys next time.